What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. We are here. The finals are done, and we about to talk about it. We got some things to say, some good stuff, some bad stuff, and some stuff you don't want to hear if you're a Spurs fan. As always, I got the bros with me. Say what's up, Dom.
What's going on with y'all?
Security man, Dom. You see it on the shirt.
Oh,
And we got Junior. What's up, Huncho?
Red and blue skies, baby.
Red and ooh, red and blue
Red and
sky.
blue. Red for the Carolina Hurricanes, blue for the New York Knicks. It's a great day to be. It's a great day for basketball, great day for hockey.
Yeah, shout out to Hurricanes. It's been what 20 years since we won the Stanley Cup.
20 years.
Crazy drought. It's like
Love it.
20 20 years for the Hurricanes, 50 years for the Knicks. What a weekend for sports. And also the World Cup is going on. I don't know if y'all been watching some of the soccer games. It's
If
so
you don't
much.
love what's going on right now, you don't love sports. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know.
I tell you, sports fans are eating. We're gonna go right into it. We're just gonna get some reactions to an interesting finals. First of all, I gotta eat my words. I thought the Spurs were gonna win. Boy, was I wrong.
but
After
look, we'll
the
get
You can
into that a little
say
bit later
you
on.
can say that again.
well, I mean, you could tell that it was some young players versus some seasoned vets, quote unquote. Some leads that shouldn't have been lost later on in the game, and some players who straight up did not show up. But I will say one man who did show up, that's none other than Jalen Brunson, the
The
captain.
captain.
JB.
Is there a nickname tougher than the captain? Like, respectfully, that's kind of tough. Like, I know we got the king and this and that, but the captain, that just got a ring to it. We'll just, we'll have our reactions in it. Like, from what I saw, I watched every single game, and every single game, I I saw what the Spurs need to work on. Yeah, and yeah, Jalen was cooking the entire series, and I said that I thought that the Spurs had the defense to stop that man from driving into the paint.
Nope.
That man did not stop driving into the paint
Nope.
once. That was some really good plays by the coach. Shout out Mike Brown. That was some good coaching, telling the bigs
Mike,
to
Mike, 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 Mike,
my,
Mike.
yeah, telling one thing I really did love when I saw Jalen Brunson driving in and Wimby was down there. The first thing that the big did was seal Wimby off to not get to Brunson whatsoever, holding him tight. And Jalen Brunson, he just had to do what he had to do. Respectfully, that man is quick, handles ridiculous, midi. I've never seen a bag so deep. So Jalen Brunson, shout out to you. You made me eat my words. I'll never do it again. Let's get another reaction. Dom, let's get your reaction from the finals. Are you surprised? Gentlemen sweep, are we surprised at this or no?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I said I was going to a game 7, but after seeing that first and second game, I knew it was up. Like you said, JB, and then another person that stepped up. OG.
Mm-hmm.
OG proved that Wemby's defense isn't that good on the perimeter. He proved that he hit clutch shots. I mean, what more can you ask for? It's just been a great month, past 2 months of sports. Like, I've been going to sleep every night with a smile on my face.
In case y'all didn't know, Dom does not like Wimby whatsoever. Why? We don't know.
He said something about my mama like 5 years ago. So
Lord have mercy. Junior, let's get some final results, reactions from
Man,
you.
man, I tell you, it was just such a great finals. Jalen Brunson is like inspirational, not to me, but just to all the little guards, not only the ones that's going to come in the future, not even just the ones in the present, but the ones from the past too, that we're told they're too little to be the best player on a team, or we need to move on and get a number one scorer. It's like, well, you can be 6 foot tall and you can be a bucket and you can win with that. Um, so I think him just doing what he did in these finals was just so amazing. Being the number one I'm just looking at his stats here now. Game 1, 30 points. Game 2, 20 points. Game three, they lost, but he got 32 points. Um, Game four, 36. And then that fanatic, emphatic game five, 45 points. He scored 45 points. The doggone team, the rest of the team scored 49. This dude, he doesn't have any quit, and that's really what it boiled down to was just his determination. He wasn't going to be denied this opportunity. They've come too far to lose. And so I'm whoever. Listen, even Stephen A. Smith, as much as a New York fan as he was, when they made the trade for him, he was saying it's not a good trade. Nobody's saying that. There, not only you, Anthony, there's a lot of people that are eating their words, not only about the whole San Antonio take about what was going to happen, but really about what Jalen Brunson can do for this organization. And he's amazing. That's all we can say. He's amazing.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson. I generally do not have like words to describe the type of. I mean, impeccable, like outstanding, like unforgettable finals performance. Like that was ridiculous. Like it seemed like every time he got past his defender, if he was going to goal, you know he was going to make it. He pulled from three. There was no doubt in my mind he was going to make that also.
Yeah.
Like it was, and I will say one thing: him being able to draw a foul off a pump fake almost better than Shea. Oh my goodness gracious! When they were trailing down uh, a couple of points in the fourth quarter, man, Jalen
hmm
Brunson that pump fake and poor Dylan Harper, that rookie, he fell for it every time. Actually, everybody fell for it. All he had to do was step back. Whoop, that defender right in his face, lean in. Hey, foul. One time he almost made it and made it a 4 point play. That was crazy to watch. But that's Jalen Brunson, man. Like, I'm very happy for Brunson. I'm happy for Cat, even though this wasn't the finals performance from Cat that I really wanted. You're gonna have to check them fouls next year, Cat. You can't have four fouls before halftime. You can't do that. You need to watch you also need to watch your offensive fouls also. If I'm not mistaken, he led the league in offensive fouls.
hmm
You gotta watch that, Cat. Like Dom said, OG, he was the number two this series. Offensively, defensively, clutch moments. And also, he really did expose Wemby on the perimeter because there was one game he hit Wemby back to back 3 pointers. Jab, step, jab, step. Hey, why's your hand down? Send
Corner
it
three.
corner three. He did it from both sides. He did it from one side, one play, went to the other side, hit Wemby with the exact same thing. Boom. It seemed like it was just clicking for the Knicks.
When you got a good two-way player, when you have a good two-way player like OG, Wemby can only stand but so close to him because if
Mhm.
he gets too close, OG with that first step and his strength is just going to go around him and then jump off 2 feet, two hands on the ball, and Wemby's going to have to foul him or he's going to have to try to block it. Is either one is very difficult, and if he sags off too far, he's going to shoot. So it's very tough to try to figure out what for Wemby what he wanted to do in terms of just guarding him. So.
Let's be honest. OG Anunoby build is something that you will build in a 2K game. Well,
100%. But
he's
that
he's he's 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan, can shoot the ball, can drive. Like it's ridiculous. Like yeah, that boy tough. Shout out OG because
OG.
Yeah, his
the
build is very tough. Like you don't want to go against that because
no.
he's strong. And there he go eating I had to eat my words because I said, Keldon Johnson would be a good matchup for him. Somebody please tell Adam
Who?
Silver. Yeah, somebody please tell Adam Silver to take away that six man of the year because that man went missing. Oh my goodness gracious, he went missing. Give it to Dylan Harper of all people. Um, ugh, I have no words honestly for the type of game, the level of playing that the Knicks were on. Like it was above me.
They was
Um,
hungry. They
they were,
was hungry.
and they had the amount of Knicks fans in both arenas, ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all probably heard how loud the Knicks were in San Antonio. I was very
Mm,
surprised, but I mean, at one point, I mean, it's kind of like Miami Heat fans. You remember that time we went to that Charlotte game and they played Miami? I forgot there was a stint where everybody just became Miami Heat fans. And Miami was up, and they started chanting Miami, and I was like, I got scared.
it felt very uncomfortable for a second, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. So the bigger question.
Well, hold on, one more thing.
Okay.
Josh Hart.
Mm,
That is one of the most underrated players, even though he don't have like a big scoring spurt this whole series or either in the whole season, but he led the league in hustle stats. You need a dog like that on a team like the New York Knicks, where you got scores all around, but you gotta have somebody that get down there and do that dirty work. So shout out Josh Hart also.
Yeah, respectfully, if there was a hustle player of the year, Josh Hart would get it. That man, I tell you what, that ball bounced off the rim. Josh Hart is flying through the air, grabbing the ball, and I respect it.
yeah.
Still don't know if I'm a huge Josh Hart fan, like basketball wise, but
Mm.
hey.
He's got an edge to him.
He do.
You know, all those Villanova boys do.
Mhm.
Bridges, Hart, and JB, they all got an edge to them where they play with like a chip. So it's like, hey, you think I'm not going, I'm bad at this. Okay, that's fine. I might be, but guess what? I'm still going to shoot.
Mhm.
You know, I'm short, but guess what? I'm still going to put my body on the line to go get this offensive rebound and give us a second chance. You know, I'm going to, make you foul. You know, do an offensive foul on me when I'm checking you. You know, you're gonna elbow me in the face, but guess what? I'm gonna eat that because guess what? That's a flagrant one on you. You know, so they all have this edge about them that really, I feel like New York kind of embodied. You look at the whole lineup, really you got a lot of guys that just had chips on their shoulders, right? JB,
Mhm.
Bridges, Hart, OG, Cat. You go to the bench, you even have Jose Alvarado, Mitchell Robinson, all these guys have chips on their shoulders. They're gonna go out there and they're gonna fight. And they bought into what the coach was telling them, and that's why they're champions.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, like just that hustle and grit and that level of physicality that they were willing to go through. Like there was a play where Jose Alvarado was boxing out Wemby, and
Yep.
to the point where
Got elbowed.
yeah, elbow, he fell down. It was crazy. Like, but he
Yep.
didn't give up on the play. So I will say the hustle that the Knicks were doing ridiculous, and unfortunately,
Mhm.
Spurs did not have it at that moment. Now, the bigger question, because people are saying it's going to be another drought after this because they don't think the Knicks can do it again. What are the chances of the Knicks winning again? And I'm gonna give y'all a time frame. What are the chances of the Knicks winning again in the next 5 years? In the next
Mm.
5 years, do you think the Knicks can get one more? I'm gonna give y'all my opinion. If they keep roughly the same people, and that's gonna be a if, because there's some players that did some real hustling, i.e., Mitchell Robinson, that can go to another team and get a way bigger bag, and rightfully so, he should. Some people may start disbanding, but hopefully, if they stay the same, add some, add a little talent, they don't need much. I could see them winning again in the next 5 years. Back to back, no, I don't think so. And hopefully, I don't get clipped and they end up winning again next year. But I don't think they can do back to back. But I do see them with the captain. I do see them winning one more time in the next 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll go first. It would be very tough. I
Hmm.
mean, you look at just the last um 8 or 9 years. You haven't had a back-to-back champion in since 2017, 2018 Golden State Warriors, right? So it's
Hmm.
been a long time since we've had back to back. Now we've had like I think in those last 8 or 9 years, we've had like seven different champions. You had Golden State, Toronto, LA, Milwaukee, so on and so forth. And nobody's really, it's always been a different team. So can they win it in the next 5 years? I think so. I think they do need another like I don't know, maybe if like they need another more reliable scorer because I mean you got Cat, who I think is a good scorer. He's a good stretch five, and then you got obviously JB. But I don't know how the I will say the one downside to having a guy that's smaller in stature, even though Jalen is more sturdy than most small guys, is that the punishment his body takes over the course of a season. Can he withstand the punishment that it takes to get to the NBA championship again? Even within 5 years, it's still so much. This whole season, 82 games. So I think if they had another scorer could complement him, I could see like man, like a maybe CJ McCollum. I don't know, but that's a lot of bad defense at the same time
Mm.
Yeah,
because CJ don't really play defense like
nah.
that. But it'd have to be. But maybe they could probably run it back with their team. But I think you have to try to make the team a little better. So I think they could do it in the next 5 years for sure. I have that confidence.
Yeah, I got the past 10 years, like Junior said, Warriors back to back, but then you have Raptors, Lakers, Bucks, Warriors, Nuggets, Celtics, Thunder, Knicks. It hasn't really, it's been different teams, different conferences. It's kind of up in the air, but
Hmm.
no back to back. And we know why they went back to back. They had Slim Reaper on the squad, a prime Slim Reaper. So it'd be crazy if they
Yeah.
didn't go back to back. Dom, what do you think? You think they can win it again in the next 5 years?
Definitely. The only thing that I would change per se, I wouldn't change it. I would just add it is another big. I would try to get another big in the draft because we've seen that Cat gets in foul trouble, so that really leaves it on Mitchell Robinson. Don't get me wrong, he did hold it down, but when he gets out the game and you put Cat in, say for instance, Cat foul out, I would have a bag up at least a third center that's pretty decent. And then also another shooting guard. I would get another shooting guard. I honestly, honestly, the Dejounte Murray on
Mm.
the Knicks.
Nah,
He's a scorer and he has defense.
nah. He don't
Ah,
fit the. I mean, he kind of played with a chip, but anyway, I'll let you have your thoughts, so it's okay.
I haven't really paid too much attention to DeJounte recently,
Exactly.
so I'm
Don't
not
nobody know
sure.
where he been.
Is he still with the Pelicans?
Yeah.
Oh,
Purgatory,
Zion and him? Zion and him?
purgatory. And they eating them beignets and yeah,
But
Lord.
yeah,
not focused on basketball.
that's the only thing I would add is another shooting guard and another big. But I definitely could see them winning in the next 5 years because the way it seemed like right now, Brunson ain't going anywhere. It really, yeah. But their squad all around is hard to beat. This is potentially what OKC could become.
Mm. Well,
Keep in mind,
OKC could
OKC is
be.
only 1 year removed from a championship, so let's
It's,
not count them out.
yeah, I was about to say, is
They got a
that
lot of dogs over there. Let's be honest. Come on now. We'll talk
I'm
about
talking
that
about,
later, though. I already got them on my radar.
mm. This is a side question. We ain't got to put much thought into it because this just came to my mind. I didn't even text y'all about this. Who do y'all think would have put up a better fight? Do you think that compared to the Spurs, do you think OKC would have put up a better fight against the Knicks? I
That's the
think
same
about
question I
this.
was going to ask too.
I think about this, and I'm looking and I'm like, wow, would have the Thunder took the Knicks to a game 7?
I think so.
I don't think so. I
I
Really?
think it would
think
have. I think it would have been a gentleman's sweep, but the
hmm?
Spurs.
Really? Hmm.
Because what do we
Wait, say
discuss
that
at the last
again?
spot? I
You
think it
said
would
but
have
the
been a,
Spurs.
but the Spurs winning. I don't
No, we
think that they
talking
could have.
about
We're talking
we
about the
talking about
finals.
if we talking about if
Oh, if it was
New York
OKC
went against
and
OKC.
nah,
What do you think would have happened?
gentleman's sweep, but the Knicks, they don't
Oh,
have
okay.
size. They do not have size. You have Cat down there. What is Chat gonna do with Cat? If he couldn't do nothing with Wemby, what he gonna do with Cat?
Good point.
You know, this sounds crazy. I feel like Chet would have had a tougher time against Mitchell Robinson than Cat. Is that crazy to say? I
Yeah,
don't
he
know how
got
to feel about
size. Man,
it. Yeah. This
we
is my
preach about
thing
him. Hmm.
because I was thinking about it. I always like to do devil's advocate. If OKC played against the Knicks, I think it would have been really hard to tell who would have won, you know, but I like to think about it because, man, nobody would have been able to really guard Jalen Brunson. But at the same time, I feel like nobody would have been able to guard Shea Gilgeous because more than likely Jalen Williams would have still been hurt. That's why he sat out a lot of games. The hamstring, you can't forget about the hamstring. It's just not going to go away in a couple
Right.
of days. That's still going to be an issue. So if we don't have Jalen Williams playing, I still think the Knicks beat OKC.
Let
It's
me tell
I
gonna
you
be.
honestly
my.
feel like OKC would have put up a better fight, in my opinion.
Let me.
Mm,
Because we talking like Shea don't play defense. Shea plays some defense now.
You do.
He plays good defense too, honestly, with all due respect. But they play more better team defense. So it would have been more of a team effort. And they close out hard too. So if they double in JB to get the ball out of his hands, they closing out on whoever he throw the ball to. So I think that, you know, I don't know. It would have been a great series though. I think it would have went for sure 7 games. And I don't know if New York could have went into OKC for 2 games and beat them. I'm not convinced of it.
mm.
I'm not convinced because OKC is more battle tested. That's really what it boiled down to. And I'm gonna talk about San Antonio in a second, but you know,
Uh-oh.
domination is what OKC was doing last year. Really and truly, they were dominant. So that's just my opinion. It would have been a good series though. Honestly, I would have much rather have seen OKC versus New York.
Mm.
That's
Definitely.
just
But
me.
I'm glad that we got to see what we've seen already. So let's go to move into this next segment.
All right. We have talked about the positives of the finals. We have talked about the Knicks. We've talked about Jalen Brunson. And now we got to talk about the bad, the Spurs.
Boo.
Like I said in the beginning, if you're a Spurs fans, you're not going to like this segment. But look, all we doing is speaking true facts of what happened during the finals. Um, Wembenyama. Yeah.
That's all you can say. Go ahead. No, no. Go
Well,
ahead and talk all that stuff that you was talking before the finals started when we recorded about a week and a half ago. Go ahead. We'll wait. Dom, we'll wait for him. Go ahead, Anthony. Go
Guys, let's
ahead
go
Wemby.
and
to
eat those words
spotlight
that you
yourself.
said you was gonna eat.
Let's go to spotlight yourself. Go ahead.
I ain't
Yeah, spotlight
trying.
yourself.
I'm the host. I'm not going to doggone do that. Wemby, you let
Not
me down.
having that.
You let me
Stand
down,
10
Wemby.
toes just like you was standing a week and a half ago.
I
Go ahead and give us your excuses. What you got to say for yourself?
two words: careless turnovers. If we didn't have, well, I keep saying we like I'm a Spurs fan. I like Wemby. Don't get me wrong. If there wasn't the amount of careless turnovers in clutch times where there shouldn't be no turnovers, maybe the Spurs would have put up a little bit of a fight. But Wemby, you can't get the ball off a rebound and start going like you about to go past half court and just throw the ball to the back of your point guard's back. When I saw that, I said, "Ooh wee, mama, we are clipped." Yeah, Wemby, you let me down, man. I know there were some games where you got 30, but when it was time to be clutch, you were not clutch. When it was time to make free throws, you missed free throws. When it was time to be like, hey, I was top three for MVP talks, it wasn't there. All that talks about, hey, next LeBron, that's the next generation's LeBron. Respectfully, LeBron would have never done that. I have nothing else to say. It was tough to watch. Everybody pooped the bed, as they say. Like, it was crazy. Castle was a no-show for some games. Six man of the year, Keldon Johnson, take that award from him. He don't deserve it no more. Dylan Harper, you cool in my book, man. You cool
He's
in my
solid.
book. He's solid. He a rookie. He missed some free throws. He missed a layup that could have tied it up. But he's a rookie. You know, he pulled his weight this series. I cannot be mad at Dylan Harper. But who I can be mad at is De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox, I'm a huge fan, you know. I was a big fan from when he was in college. Big fan. I saw you come down and dribble the ball with your foot and it went out of bounds and I said, dog, he's washed. Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
goodness gracious. You can't be doing turnovers like that in the finals, man. And it just everything fell apart. And this has something to do with Mitch also. You cannot allow teams to go on constant runs. When the Knicks went on an 18-0 run when they were up almost 30, that's when I was like, wow, if the Spurs lose, I'll understand, you know? But that was my that was my synopsis. Y'all really let me down. Firefox. I ain't talking about the internet browser. Firefox. Get him out of there. You don't need him no more. That's all I gotta say. I'm trying to figure out which Spurs Wemby hater should I pass this to. I might
I'll let
pass it.
Dom go
Yeah, I'm
first.
gonna pass it to Dom. I see him. He already sipping on something. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna let the liquor courage talk.
Ah, let's go ahead and where y'all want me to start at?
Let
Y'all want me to start with Wemby?
start with somebody who needs to take accountability. Who needs to take accountability on the Spurs?
Wemby. Let's go to start with Wemby. People was overhyping this man from the get go. Cool, yeah, he a freak of nature. This, that, and the third. But me and Junior Ben said this. He is what? 100 soaking wet.
160 soaking wet.
Like he tried to rely on his height the whole series. They thought it was going to be sweet because he had a chip on his shoulder with Chet. But what happened when he faced Mitchell Robinson and Cat? As you seen, trying to bump, they wasn't going anywhere.
Nowhere.
Trying to draw fouls wasn't going anywhere. Flopping wasn't doing nothing.
Mm-mm.
Get that man out the league. He's a disgrace to basketball. Like it doesn't make any sense. And then De'Aaron Fox, that man is a vet of the team, making bad decisions. Of course, the Spurs was going to lose. But you know who this reminds me of? You know who Miss Johnson reminded me of the finals?
Mm.
North Carolina.
Oh,
Hubert
okay.
Davis.
Oh well, we're slander Hubert Davis. I can, yeah, I'm cool on that. I'm cool on that.
I mean, North Carolina team too, because y'all blow countless leads plenty of times, and that's what they did this whole final series.
You're not wrong.
The fact that I'm comparing them to a college team says something. It doesn't make no doggone sense. They was talking about Spurs in 7, Spurs in 5, Spurs in 6. Look the way they at now. You want to be probably in the corner crying somewhere. Don't make no doggone sense.
Since he likes to wear his emotion on his sleeve.
Right, right. And then it brings back another point. They celebrated too doggone early.
Way too early.
They didn't have that chip anymore.
Mhm.
They didn't have that chip anymore. They turned soft, like baby poop. But I digress.
I can't do anything but agree with Dom. Um, and we said this last episode. They celebrating beating OKC like they won the championship already. But little did they realize that they had to go through a team that was clicking pretty good. Even though they were going through the, you know, weaker Eastern Conference, right? Which I think is crazy because it doesn't matter what conference you're in. You get to the finals for a reason, right? It don't matter what conference you're in. It takes a lot of work to get there. They thought it was going to be, like Dom said, they thought it was going to be sweet. They walked in there, heads held high, which they should have. You know, they beat the reigning champs. It was out 7 games, right? So they had every right to be confident, but that confident, is pride before a downfall. They were a little too confident, a little too prideful about what they had accomplished, which realistically was nothing. So let's keep that a band. Just because you beat the reigning champ, it means a little something. But again, what we say last episode, Dom, job's not finished. It was not even close. And the look of shock that everybody had in San Antonio when they went down 0-2, and the first two doggone games were in San Antonio, it had me dying. I knew San Antonio had got soft when they started putting them pink shirts on chairs. Had doggone Tim Duncan in a pink shirt, David Robinson, the Admiral, in a pink shirt. When I seen that, I was like, yeah, this ain't the same. This ain't the same San Antonio Spurs that we knew from back in the day, that our cousin Marco knew from back in the day. It ain't the same. It ain't the same. This is a different team. And just because they got this, this alien, this guy that's 7'7", he gets taller every time I say his height. He's like 7'5". Just because he's tall doesn't mean anything. Like we said, you got two bigs that got weight and size, and they got length on, just like he does too. He gonna have to fight. He had to fight every single game. He had to fight for every rebound, every possession. He thought he was moving, but Cat and Mitch, they were moving them feet. They were sliding them puppies, man. They stayed in front of him. He had a couple of games where he did really well. Let me refer to his stats really quickly. What did he do? He had 26 game one, 29 game two, and then he had 32, 24, 19. Right? 32 points. That's the game they won, the game three. Congratulations. But it took a monumental effort for them for him to for them to get that win. At the end of the day, it was too little too late, you know. Uh and can we please talk about him saying in the press conference, we were dominant the whole playoffs. Please tell me y'all heard that. Please tell me y'all heard that. He said we were dominant the entire series. I want to, y'all know I'm a teacher secularly. It's my job. I train, I educate. I want people to know what the word dominant means. Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Dominant. Commanding, controlling, or prevailing over all others. Now tell me, did they do any of those things for any of the games? Maybe one game.
One game.
They might have dominated one game. But those other 4 games that they lost, there was no domination there. He might have thought they were being dominant, but dominant is getting that lead and then finishing the job, not taking your foot off the gas thinking that the game is over. Because guess what? New Yorkers, they got the chip on their shoulder. They're going to keep fighting until the very final end. And that's what we saw in game 4 and in game 5. They fought back from how many were they? They were down, what, 29 in game 4? Is that what it was? Oh my God. 29 they were down in game 4 and fought all the way back. How do you lose a lead like that? Fire the coach immediately. That's the first thing I do. They were talking about him like he was the next Greg Popovich. They should have kept what's her name on the staff. What's the female ref?
Shoot, I know who you're
Becky
talking about.
Hammond.
Yeah.
Becky Hammond. They was better off keeping Becky because guess what? At least she was with the old regime back when they still had Timmy D and TP and Kawhi Leonard and all those guys where they finished the job multiple times, right? I'm just letting you know they were not dominant. He was emotional. He was a loser, a sore loser at that, walking off the court, not showing any sportsmanship. I don't care who in the past has done it, has not done it. The rules are, or not even a rule, we always talk about the unwritten rules of the NBA. You show respect to the game and to your competitors by shaking their hands, right? But because he got all this emotion and stuff he got to deal with, he felt like he didn't have to do that. And a lot of the Spurs players didn't do that. But I don't care about them because they not the next LeBron James, supposedly. They not the next dominant force in the NBA. They not the next face of the NBA. Everybody is saying this man Victor Wembanyama is. Don't nobody care about that. Lost a lot of respect for that man when he walked off the court. I'm not gonna lie to you. But that again, that's just me. Don't care who did it in the past. Don't care who's gonna do it in the future. You need to make sure you show respect to the game and that's how you do it. So shout out, the Spurs will be back. Let's be honest, they'll be back. But guess what? They're gonna have to cross OKC again. They're gonna have to come across Oklahoma City. Uh, there's other teams in the West too. You still got Houston that's getting ready, right? They getting right. There's so many other teams. LA, when they get Luca back, that it's gonna be a fight there too. We all know how strong the West is. They should have taken advantage of this opportunity because there is no guarantee. There's no guarantee that they'll be back in the finals within the next 5 years, right? Because there's a lot of other young teams that are up and coming as well, right? So, hey, shout out to the Spurs. They did well. Not really.
Oh gosh, yeah. Let me read y'all some stats real quick. Um, I'm gonna give you De'Aaron Fox final stats. I'm sure y'all gonna love this. Game one, and this is against the Knicks. 7 points.
Hmm.
He went 3 for 13 from field goal. Game two, came back 20 points. A little bit better. 8 for 12. Game three, 12 points. 4 for 14. Game four, 18. A little bit better. 6 for 16. Game five, 7 points. 3 for 15. Ridiculous. De'Aaron Fox, you gotta go, buddy. Somebody who I am a huge fan of let me down. Stefan Castle, I didn't see the day that I would have to slander you, buddy.
Talking about wet in the bed.
So first, 3 games, 22, 18, 23, but when it mattered most, game four, 5 points.
Ooh.
Game five, 6. You went up 1 point, buddy. Can't be having these names. And this is technically San Antonio's top three. That's their big three. It was Fox, Castle, and Wemby. That was their
Yep.
big three. Can't be having
Yep.
numbers like that. If Wemby
Yep.
has these numbers, and Wemby did, he kept his numbers going. Castle and Fox, you can't let that happen, man. That was tough to watch. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, all I'm saying is the Spurs wouldn't be in this predicament if they had one player that they let go. CP3. He's a vet that has been in these situations multiple times. As we've seen, he coached up Wemby when he played with Wemby. They wouldn't have been in this situation. That was an L on the Spurs' part. So they lost my respect then letting CP3 go. But,
Yep.
I don't know what they got going on right now. They definitely ain't making it in the next 5 years. Like I said, get that man Wemby out the league. He don't deserve to be there. All the hype that he was getting, he don't deserve it. He was training for the monks for what reason?
Mhm.
For what reason? He let the monks down. The monks probably banned him. He probably can't come back there.
Imagine you try to pull up to the temple, the monks is like, nah, man.
They done locked the doors.
They airbend him off the temple.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Ah. And you know what? You named all those teams in the West, Jane. People keep forgetting Joker and the Nuggets are still here.
They ain't going nowhere.
They had to hurt Aaron Gordon this past,
He
playoffs.
always hurt, but
But hey, I mean, not having Aaron Gordon on the team for some odd reason is Joker's kryptonite. I don't know. But if Aaron Gordon's there, best believe Joker's gonna have a good game. I'm just saying it's gonna be tough in the West.
it is.
It's
Like
gonna
I
be
said, there's
very
no
tough.
guarantee you'll be back. And that's how they played, as if like, oh, like we can do this again. We can do this whenever we want. People were already crowning them as a dynasty. I'm like,
Mm.
but they hadn't won a series, not a series. They hadn't won a championship yet. How do you call them a dynasty? They're like, oh, well, they're next up. Let them win first. We got
Yeah.
to get out of this habit of calling people these things and putting this stamp or this staple on these teams and these people, but they haven't done anything yet. Oh, well, they went through a couple of teams. Okay. They went through Portland in the first round, for God's sakes. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, Portland with that one player.
let's,
I don't
let's be
even know his
honest.
name.
Yeah, I know he's a bucket, but
The whatchamacallit, The West, they're going to have some dogs next year. The only thing that took a few teams out of the competition was injuries. Because you got to think, we still have the Mavs. When Kyrie Irving comes back, it's up for a lot of teams. Who else? Who else? Our Timberwolves, even though Anthony Edwards was had a nagging injury, but he still was averaging 30.
Both his legs was and nagging.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So it's just that we have dogs coming up in this West.
And not to mention, these teams gonna be gunning for one player, Giannis Antetokounmpo. They gonna be gunning for him, I bet you.
For sure.
I don't know wherever Giannis goes this upcoming season, it's gonna determine a lot of stuff. And if Boston is gonna make some moves also on their squad, because
Mm.
I have a feeling they may let JB go after his little crazy stint. After they lost, they may let JB go. I don't know. I do not know. I don't know how relations are up there in the front office with JB, because apparently he was talking crazy on the net right after they lost. Like right the day after they lost, he went straight to Twitch and started talking crazy. Who
I
knows?
mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion and their own thoughts. So
Yeah, 100%.
just
But
like we let you slide with your San Antonio and Wembanyama takes,
hey,
No.
accountability 2026, not letting it slide, buddy.
yeah, I mean, I take accountability. Jalen Brunson, my fault, man. I never disrespect you ever again. That's one of the greatest runs in playoff history since Kawhi, in my opinion. Goodness gracious,
Ooh.
man, that
Look,
was what's
So
up.
the Knicks were dominant. That was dominant.
it
Yeah,
ain't gonna happen next year because the Hornets gonna be in the finals.
if we somehow get Giannis,
Man, Charlotte's
imagine,
a
I ain't
great
gonna
place to
lie.
live.
For sure.
imagine if we get Curry because he went to Davidson. That is wishful thinking. It'll never happen, but
We didn't
But you
already
know what's
have the
crazy?
best Curry there is. We had Seth Curry.
I got faith.
give me Iguodala
Give
type
me,
of
I got Eagle Dollar.
type of statement.
Oh man.
Oh gosh. Well,
But you know what's crazy? This
uh,
Giannis trade is going to shake up the NBA because it's not
Mm.
going to be just between two teams. It's going to be between at least three or four teams because he has that type of value.
I can
So
see that.
whatever, yeah, whatever they trade for, whoever they trade for, it's gonna shake up the league. It's gonna have some big players involved in it.
I tell you
Yeah,
one
three
thing,
four 314 trade. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
better watch out for the Wizards. Trey Young
Who? Trey Young?
and Caleb Wilson.
Well, on that note, whoever want to take my spot in this podcast, be my guest.
Hey, all I'm saying is Trey Young, Caleb Wilson, Anthony Davis. That's all you need.
I don't know how those two can exist on the same team, between AD and Caleb, because AD does not want to play the five,
Nah,
and Caleb Wilson is too small to play the five. So I don't
put
know
him
how
at a
that's
three.
going to go.
I know how to play the three. I don't
Put
know.
him at a three.
Who?
Which one?
Caleb?
Caleb Wilson?
Possibly,
Isn't
yeah.
he 7 feet tall?
No, no, no,
No,
no,
he
no.
like 6'9", 6'10".
Maybe a little
Oh,
shorter. I think. I think he's like 6'8", 6'9".
he didn't
Visar,
move.
Visar was our big. He was a true 7-footer. Who I can't wait
Right.
to see. I can't wait to see where he goes. He might go first round.
G League.
Watch out. Call him on Visar, but
Should have went back to. Could he have? Was he a senior? He should have went back to UNC. Anyway, we get enough topic. Anyway,
yeah. Closing statements on the Spurs. Closing statements on Wemby. Dom.
Get him out the league.
Well, closing statements, Junior.
get stronger. Take no days off. Take a week off. I give you a week. Get right back into the gym. You got to get stronger. You got to get better. Um, and you got to trust your teammates. I think or maybe he needs to trust them less, or maybe he needs to lead by example. Work ethic goes a long way. Not just, he's obviously gifted because he's what, 7'4", 7'5", right? So, but those natural abilities only get you so far. So you gotta put in more work. You gotta get stronger. He gotta put on 30 pounds of muscle. He has to. He
Mm.
has to.
But
He
he
will
ain't gonna last
not
long.
survive. He
Either way,
will
he ain't.
not survive against Cat, Joker, et cetera, et cetera. Joel Embiid, dog it even Joel put the shoulder in his chest and he getting moved out the way. He's gotta get stronger. That's the bottom line. But we will see San Antonio again. It won't be the last time we talk about them, especially in the finals.
Mm. My closing statements is De'Aaron Fox, uh, Duolingo. Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. You're going to the Guangdong Tigers. Ni hao.
Uh,
Recording has started. Three, two, one. All right. That is the end of the podcast for today. As always, we have our top three special where we do a top three of a certain topic and then we just give y'all what our top three is. And this time it's gonna be, fresh off the finals, we're gonna give y'all our top three teams to win next year. So let's go ahead and start with Junior first.
so my top team, no particular order, as usual. I really want to give credit to OKC. I do think they will be back next year. They're going to retool. They're going to get better. They have another doggone top 10 draft pick coming up this year as well. And let's be honest, they're just going to get better. Sam Presti has them set up so well for the next several years, and they're constantly going to be getting talent. So they feel like Chet isn't getting the job done. Guess what they're going to do? Draft another big. That's better than Chet, honestly. So, and then guess what they'll get in return for Chet? More picks. So they're going to be good, I think. And I think that is going to put them over the top. So that's, if I had to order them, that's probably going to be my first team. My second team, I do think the Lakers are going to make a run. We need to get rid of DeAndre Ayton. That's the first thing. I don't know why people think that he is, and I might have said this too. I thought he was going to be helpful. He was not. He was very, very bad. He doesn't have good hands. And it's not, I don't know what it is about him and catching the ball. He was just so, 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 so bad. Um, but I do think the Lakers with a healthy Reeves, a healthy LeBron, with LeBron always going to be healthy. He going to turn it up, turn it on during March. And they were very good, with the three of them, Luca, AR, and Braun, when they were playing together. It was looking very, very, very good. Nobody can deny that. LeBron and his role that he was playing, it was like a point forward role. He was awesome. It was great. And Luca was doing his thing and AR was doing his thing too. So Lakers I'm gonna give it to them too. And then I gotta give the edge also to the New York Knicks. I do think they have the ability to repeat. Again, they have to get better. Some people like to run it back. They win. Hey, we won with this team. We proved that we can win with this team. We need to run it back. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think that if you win, you have to get better. You have to get drastically better than you were the previous year. Because guess what? People are going to have all that footage of you from the previous year and from the playoff run. They're going to be dialing in on certain things and it's going to get tough. So you have to get better, whether it's adding pieces, sending pieces away, whatever it is, you've got to get better. So I think those are my top three teams: Lakers, um, um, OKC, and New York.
Good choices. Dom, top three.
Uh, you can't never forget about the Pistons. Um, who, who else? Who else? I will also say the Celtics, respectfully, and then my third OKC, because
Mm.
OKC is a young team. They've already won a chip, so they can't do nothing but get better. Um, but the Pistons, I mean, we're acting like they're bums. They're not.
Mm.
They was number one for a reason. They have Cade Cunningham, uh, Duran, Duncan Robinson. It's a well-rounded team. Um, if they made it this far, I'm pretty sure they're going to be making some changes in the off season. Um, I could easily see them making it to the finals. So yeah,
Okay. W choices. Can't forget about Cade and them. Huge Cade Cunningham fan myself. Top three players I have is, I mean, I said players, teams. I think Warriors because Curry is always going to Curry, respectfully. Obviously, the Warriors are going to make some trades this offseason to help Curry. So I do believe that is a team to look out for. And I'm gonna put the Knicks up there. We haven't seen a team go back to back since Warriors. Maybe the Knicks can do it. Maybe something I would look forward to. My third team, I don't really have a third team because I put down wherever Giannis goes. People, I don't think we understand. As we said earlier, wherever Giannis goes is a very important because respectfully, nobody can still guard that man. He is a force to be reckoned with. If he goes to the East, he will dominate in the East. If he goes to the West, he'll dominate in the West. It's just if teams can put players around him, that's the biggest thing. So, wherever Giannis goes. But as always, that's the podcast. Appreciate everybody for tuning in for the repo. Oh, Jerry, did Jerry have a last minute? Oh, wait. Jerry got to shout somebody out. Let
We
me.
gotta give a shout out. We gotta shout out the Carolina Hurricanes. We mentioned it earlier, but I want to just talk about how dominant this playoff run that the Carolina Hurricanes. For those of y'all don't know, that's a hockey team, NHL, National Hockey League. They just finished up yesterday. Today's Monday, so they finished up Sunday. They had a very, very, very dominant run in the playoffs. I just want to give y'all just a sneak peek of what they did. I don't know if y'all was paying attention. I was paying attention. The first team they played in their first playoff series was the Ottawa Senators. Uh, they're an okay team. They're not that great. They got a lot of fighters. I'll leave it at that. They swept them.
Hmm.
Okay. Not in one game of that series did Ottawa score more than 2 goals. All right. So game one, they didn't score any goals. Game two, they scored two. Game three, they scored one. Game four, they scored two. Carolina always bested them. They always beat them. Then they went on to play the Philadelphia Flyers. Same story. They swept them. Okay. Same thing. They did not give up more than 2 goals a game. They were our goalie was Frederick Anderson. Shout out to
yeah,
him.
dog.
He is very, very, very good. He got a little burnt out towards the end, but it don't matter. He was honestly maybe one of the better players, and the reason why in those first two series that we were able to sweep the teams. Shout out to them. And then we went on to play the Montreal Canadiens. Shout out to the Canadians because hey, no Canadian disrespect. However, we gentlemen swept them. It was
Mm-hmm.
4-1. It was very concerning game, the first game. Why? Because you know how it said that the first two series in one singular game, Frederick Anderson did not give up more than 2 goals. Well, in game one versus the Canadians, the score was 6-2.
6. Yep.
They
Jeez.
stomped the Hurricanes. It was very concerning. However, the Hurricanes were coming off very, very, very long wait time of rest, unnatural amount of time they had to rest and wait. It was like 12
It was
days, I
like,
think they had to wait.
yeah,
It was insane.
it was May 9th, and then the game, I think, was the next game was the 20th or 21st or something like that.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever had to wait that long. It was actually broke a record for the amount of wait time, right? But then so we lost that first game. Then we came back 3-2, 3-2, 4-0, 6-1. 6-1 was game five. We killed them. They didn't score those next 4 games, they didn't score more than 2 goals. Dominant, right? Very, very dominant. And then we go on and play the Las Vegas Golden Knights. We lost the game one. Okay, that's fine. We won game two. Great. We lost game three. But then we went on to win the next 3 games. We did have a goalie change. We went to Brandon Bussey. Shout out to undrafted Brandon Bussey. He saved us. Frederick wasn't hurt, brother Anderson. Frederick Anderson wasn't hurt, but he just kind of got burnt out a little bit, physically and mentally, more than likely. But I just want to say it was just such a dominant run. We have some hitters, some really, really great guys for Carolina. Young talent too. That's going to take us a long way. But shout out to the captain, Jordan Stahl. Remember how I said uh in that first series when we played the Senators, they got some fighters. There's a guy named Brady Chuck. Okay. He's a known fighter. Him and Jordan dropped the gloves, and Jordan knocked him out.
I seen that joke.
And they pulled it up. They said the last time Jordan Stahl has gotten into a fight, it was like 10 years. It was a crazy long time. But they dropped those gloves, and he got him right on the chin, and he went, oh, he almost slept him. He rocked him. It was such a good fight. It was great. Not that I condone fighting or violence, but I'm just saying. So shout out to the captain, Jordan Stahl. Shout out to Nikolai Ehlers, Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, all these guys. They were just so great in the moments when we needed them the most. They came through. So really, hey, it's been 20 years since the Carolina Hurricanes won their last Stanley Cup. It was 2006. I still remember when they won it. And for the Knicks too, it was 53 years. So we had two very long droughts that were put to an end. So it was a great weekend for sports. Like Anthony said, we got World Cup going on. If you don't like what's going on right now, and we got OTAs and football going on too, a training camp. You're not a fan of what's going on right now. You're not a fan of sports. Good night.
Yep. Oh, yep, Dom.
One last thing. Get Wemby out the league.
All right.
Good night.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure y'all pop out on all our socials. Top 3 at Bushy. This was the last pod about basketball for a while. We're about to get into football, so y'all take it easy. And always, it's top 3.